Imagine an entire squad of highly trained soldiers operating deep in hostile territory. They complete their objective, survive the firefight, and wait for extraction. But instead of bringing them home, their government issues a piece of paper declaring them dead, erasing them, turning them into untraceable ghosts. For most of us, the term killed in action, or KIA, is a somber marker of sacrifice. It exists to honor fallen personnel, trigger survivor benefits, and provide grieving families with a definitive sense of closure. But within the depths of military bureaucracy, KIA serves a second, highly classified function. By exploiting administrative rules designed for casualties, states can weaponize the KIA designation to quickly close embarrassing operational files and wipe dangerous political liabilities off the books. If you want to understand how modern conflict actually operates behind the curtain, you're in the right place. Subscribe to the Global Warwatch Network for weekly deep dives into the untold stories of global military intelligence. These paper deaths are not accidental accounting errors. They are a deliberate, systemic mechanism used by states to manage the legal and political fallout of highly illegal black operations. During the Vietnam War, international treaties strictly prohibited U.S. military intervention in neutral neighboring countries like Laos and Cambodia. Yet, to disrupt enemy supply lines, a highly classified unit known as MACV-SOG routinely crossed those borders despite the explicit warning signs. Because their presence was entirely illegal, these operatives carried no identification and wore sterilized uniforms. In 1966, Green Berets Willie Stark and Russell Bott disappeared while conducting one of these highly classified Kreisgarter patrols deep inside Laos. To keep the secret war hidden from public and diplomatic scrutiny, military command instantly declared Stark and Bott KIA, with their bodies not recovered. Crucially, administrators intentionally omitted their true geographic coordinates from the official casualty reports to cover the state's tracks. The military used a parallel tactic at Lima Site 85, a clandestine radar installation perched on Elation Mountain. Because active duty personnel couldn't legally operate there, Air Force technicians were officially discharged from the military on paper. They were rebranded as civilian contractors for Lockheed, providing the government a convenient shield of plausible deniability. Stripping a soldier of their military status or preemptively declaring them dead protects the state from geopolitical blowback. It ensures that if an operative is captured across the wrong border, the government can simply deny they ever existed. The sheer scale of this administrative deception peaked during O-Plan 34A, a CIA-initiated program that parachuted South Vietnamese commando teams into North Vietnam. From the very beginning, North Vietnamese intelligence anticipated their arrivals, capturing the commando teams the moment they landed. Once the commandos were imprisoned, North Vietnamese captors forced the captured radio operators to broadcast fake success reports. They bounced a corrupted signal back to their American handlers in Saigon, simulating an active, successful mission. SOG administrators eventually realized they were being tricked into dropping more men and supplies directly into enemy hands. Instead of acknowledging the massive failure and attempting to recover the captured agents, they filed the operations away in a classified folder, burying the truth. This cover-up created an immediate, compounding problem. Keeping hundreds of missing or captured operatives on the active military payroll generated an enormous financial liability that SOG could not sustain without drawing unwanted congressional attention. Administrators implemented a chilling bureaucratic solution. Each month, they systematically crossed a batch of living men off the active payroll. They legally declared the captured commandos dead and mailed their grieving families a meager $4,000 death gratuity to close the books. The paper killing served a specific financial motive. By zeroing out the salaries of the dead men, SOG commanders freed up substantial amounts of unspent payroll. They deliberately diverted this newly available cash to quietly finance other unacknowledged Black Ops campaigns along the borders. SOG effectively buried their own living soldiers in filing cabinets. They transformed an embarrassing intelligence failure into a self-funding, secret operational budget kept entirely hidden from public oversight. Because these commandos were officially dead on paper, they ceased to exist in the eyes of international law. When diplomats signed the 1973 Paris Peace Accords, the ghost operatives were entirely excluded from the repatriation lists. They were left to rot in North Vietnamese prisons. Decades later, the ghosts returned. In the 1990s, over 200 of these dead commandos who had survived the prison camps finally made their way to the United States. They took the government to court, exposing the systematic paper-killing scheme and successfully suing for their stolen back pay. This manipulation of casualty status is not isolated to the Cold War. Consider the case of U.S. Navy pilot Michael Scott Spiker, who was shot down on the first night of the 1991 Persian Gulf War. The Navy initially declared Spiker KIA. 10 years later, citing new intelligence, the Pentagon reversed that finding and updated his status to missing in action. Then, in October 2002, his status was specifically shifted to missing/captured, providing a highly visible narrative of an American prisoner in Iraq, precisely as the administration was building its political case to invade the country. Military casualty statuses are rarely objective, permanent facts. They are highly malleable political tools, capable of being shifted back and forth to align with the immediate geopolitical agendas of the state. The terror of bureaucratic erasure runs so deep it echoes through modern media. In the video game Ace Combat 5, the entire Ward Dog Squadron is officially declared KIA and branded as traitors by their own military, allowing them to operate in total secrecy as deniable ghosts. It resonates because it reflects a very real, very dark truth about covert warfare. So in Operative, the ultimate betrayal isn't falling behind enemy lines. It's surviving the mission, only to discover that your own government has already erased you on paper. Thank you for watching. If you want to help us uncover more classified histories, please hit the like button, share this video, and make sure you're subscribed to the Global Warwatch Network. We want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on these declassified paper killings? And what other covert operations should we investigate next? Let us know in the comments below, and follow our social media links in the description to join the conversation. See you next time.